Alright, hello everybody, welcome to LiveStream on the Moonshine number 299. Back tonight for part 7 of Letter. So let me go ahead and make sure it's playing here, guys. Here we go. Alright guys, so we know last night that I ended on a dramatic point that had my own girlfriend upset at me and calling me a fucking butt for ending it where I did. But hey, you know, I'm learning from all the many hours of television I've watched myself and all the cliffhangers I've seen. I'm trying to think of like some of the biggest abusers of big time cliffhangers are Breaking Bad, one of my favorite TV shows ever. That show was amazing at leaving you on a cliffhanger. Walking Dead did it as well quite a few times. So anyway, guys, we know that we don't know who this gal is that our girl Hannah, who bought the mansion and was waiting for her husband to show up at the party, he's missing his own damn party at the mansion. And evidently he brought a girl in, or that's what it's making you think, or something like that. And he was talking about she's been having some troubles and turmoil with her own husband. And at the very end, he was gone all day, and then she says, I didn't notice until then, the girl. And then it just showed the back of her or something like that. So we're going to find out what's up with that, because it did leave on a pretty dramatic cliffhanger. So without further ado, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump in and find out what's going on and see if this part 299 starts with a lot of drama, as I kind of expect it will. We shall see, though. Alright, let's go ahead and continue. And this is exactly where we left off. Johannes restrains her, taking care to not unnecessarily harm the pregnant woman. So it's a pregnant woman. Could it be that her own husband has knocked somebody up? Look at her husband here. She's in shock. And this guy looks angry. Her husband looks angry. I didn't even notice that last night. And look at this gal. She's ready to punch. Johannes is ready to punch her. So some of the details that I didn't miss last night, that I didn't catch last night, I didn't catch them. So I missed these details like this. We got a fist being caught by Johannes, their butler. This is a married couple that just bought the big haunted mansion, basically. And he's been out all day and came to their own party late. And now Hannah just notices a lady. Alright, without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and find out why he's so angry and why she's so damn angry and why she's ready to punch somebody. Alright. But that does little to deter her rage, and the man has no choice but to let her go, lest an unborn child is hurt. Oh boy, what is she mad about? He has a lot of rage and Johannes can't even hold her. Wow, this is getting good. Although it might be too late for that, as I see an empty glass of wine in her hand. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. How much has she imbibed? Imbibed in? Basically, how drunk is she, I think?
Are you feeling ill, Rochelle?
A lot of these words I don't use. So, Rochelle, are you feeling ill? So we know who it is now. It's Rochelle. Oh, boy.
Perhaps you need to sit down and...
No! Shut it, you monster! I ain't talking to you! I'm talking to this scumbag over here!
Oh, wow.
You bloody bastard, standing there with your smarmy smile.
Smarmy, that's another word I never use. A lot of these are words I think that are used a lot more in like the UK. Your smarmy smile. And bloody as well. Bloody's another big word that we don't use a whole lot over here in America. We just use the F word for everything over here. You bloody bastard, standing there with your smarmy smile. She interrupts me, jabbing her finger in my direction before she rounds on Luke. Oh boy. Yeah, he's mad too. She's gonna punch him though, huh? Even as whispers and murmurs break out among the guests, all I can focus on is the heat of the moment. Obviously intoxicated, judging by the smell of alcohol on her breath. I'm not kicked off about this little display of hers. At least not yet. But I am absolutely pissed by the fact that she'd endanger her own baby by drinking. Yeah? There is a considerable amount of restraint and grace that I must exercise while I wait for her tantrum to subside. I keep a patient, if tight smile on my face. Luke's expression, on the other hand, is indecipherable.
Watch your tongue. You're on thin ice, Rochelle.
Oh, wow.
Where's your husband? Who even invited you?
I did.
And I told you with great emphasis not to. Now we have a drunk, hormonal, pregnant woman causing a stir.
Oh, boy.
What is even going on?
I am just about to ask the exact same thing. Yeah, why is she so mad at Luke?
I don't know.
Wow.
But Rochelle, do calm down before you hurt yourself. I can't understand a word you're saying.
Oh.
Where is that husband of yours? Lee! Collect your wife right now!
Don't you fucking talk like I'm not here and you're not responsible, you ass!
Don't you talk like I'm not here and you're not responsible. Don't tell me her husband knocked her up. Boy, wow.
You told me that I should wait for you in the gardens!
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Excuse me. What is this nonsense you're going on about?
Crazy talk. That's all it is. Just completely and utterly mad.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Has anyone seen the chief inspector?
I am pregnant with your little
Wow,
bastard.
she is pregnant.
You promised me you'll take responsibility.
Wow, just what I was scared of. I am pregnant with your little bastard. You promised me you would take responsibility. Uh-huh. Now we see why he's so mad. And this is going... We were talking about... Remember how Hannah, yet last night, was talking to Marianne, the interior decorator, and the interior decorator is telling them that they might need a little break, and, you know, Hannah was jumping to conclusions and saying, well, this may not be the end of our marriage or whatever. This right here, I think, could definitely justify as plenty of ammo for a divorce. Just saying.
God damn it, Luke! I finally got you to talk to me after months of silence, and you do this to me!
Well, it is true, guys, that... I think it's true so many times that alcohol does make the truth come out too often. So, that's another reason you should drink responsibly. Not just, you know, not getting behind a wheel and driving while you're drunk. But you need to be careful when you're drinking and you're trying to hold truth in like this. Because if it's already hard to hold in sometimes, that alcohol is definitely going to make the truth come out. And this is further proof of that. I'm waiting to see what Hannah's reaction to this is. Because I don't think she's going to believe her husband here. You know, a lot of women in this situation probably would believe their husband. And even deep inside they would know it's a lie, but they would still, you know, just because they don't want to admit it to themselves or whatever, so they would believe their husband or back their husband up. It's going to be interesting to see what Hannah does here. So, God damn it, Luke, I finally get you to talk to me after months of silence, and you do this to me? Yeah, she starts to talk. Hannah's starting to talk, but she doesn't know what to say. Wow. What?
What do you mean you're pregnant with?
Oh, boy.
Luke, is this true?
Oh, boy.
Lies and slander, woman!
Yeah, I don't think he'd be so angry. If this was not the truth, I don't think he'd be so angry. I think he'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And laughing, you know?
Security! Johans, take her out of here before she makes an even bigger fool of herself!
Wow.
No, you do not do this to me! I was so ready to leave my stupid oaf of a husband. I told you to leave that damn wife of yours.
Wow. Wow.
Look at her. Does she look like she wants a baby?
Oh, wow. Wow, you guys, I know that a lot of you ladies watch Lifetime, the Lifetime Network and stuff like that for all those drama movies, made-for-TV movies and made-for-Lifetime movies and stuff like that. And a lot of those movies have stuff just like this. I know because my ex-wife used to watch that shit all the time. And she used to love that. But you don't get much hotter in that regard than what we have right here as far as, you know, the whole marriage, cheating, drama, and stuff like that. This game has it all. Does she look like she wants a baby? Wow, look at her.
Does she look like she could take care of a baby?
Oh, I wouldn't say that you look like you could take care of a baby right now, Rochelle. Being drunk off your ass and pregnant. Ready to fight. Story has been updated. It is now that Johannes returns with security, along with a very concerned-looking officer, Lee. They surround her and move to escort the hysterical woman. Judging by his pale face, he has heard the whole thing, and I feel nothing but pity for the man.
I'm so sorry for her behavior. She's been under a lot of stress, and the alcohol.
Yeah, so he might be in a state of shock as well, because that's her husband.
Talking nonsense, that's all it is.
Yeah, nonsense, huh?
You're not allowed to drink because of the baby, Shelley. What are you thinking?
Nothing to see here, people. Move along.
Oh. Kind of sad. Is there really nothing here but the ramblings of a drunk? Yes, that's right. There's no way that what Rochelle says is the truth. What she says doesn't match up, not at all. I know Luke. If such a scandalous meeting were to be arranged, he won't do it in such an exposed place, especially not near his own precious flowers. Remember what I was just saying about how a married woman is going to back up her husband even with all the friction and, you know, turmoil they've had recently? Even then, when we see this, she defends her husband and refuses to believe it, which I think deep down she probably knows that it might be true. And he definitely won't promise responsibility over a child unless it can be helped. Besides, Luke will never, he will never go so far as to sleep with another woman, right? Is she trying to convince herself? Wow. Okay, fine. Who am I kidding? If I am to be completely honest with myself, he just might cheat. With a bit of temptation and a bit of alcohol, he just might. Well, at least she's starting to realize the truth. And and doesn't that just make my blood boil? To even think of the slightest possibility of infidelity. Lee isn't too far off when he told me how Luke still acted like some young hotshot bachelor. It starts to make me think. Perhaps a break is needed? I need to work for my happy ending. So now we get a choice here, guys. We need to get to decide how this story plays out. Remember that some of these choices, at least some of these choices, might determine how this game all ends. And this seems like probably the biggest choice we've made yet. Perhaps a break is needed, or I need to work for my happy ending. Not only do I want to make the best choice for Hannah here, but I also want to try to factor in what I think she would do. A more plausible thing. She is starting to consider the fact that he might cheat. So I think reality is kind of setting in here. And he has been really mad at him for like a week or so now. And they have been squabbling. They obviously haven't had any intimacy for probably quite a bit more than a week. And the thing is, though, they just bought this brand new mansion together. I think she's going to be really torn. I think she's going to want to try to defend him and try to get her happy ending with him. Try to get pregnant herself. But then I think it's going to be really hard for her not to think of him having a baby or potentially having this other woman pregnant and having cheated on her. I think Hannah's pretty smart. I think she's going to need some time to think things over. So I think she's probably going to think that a break's needed. I think that's what she's going to go. You guys also let me know what choice you guys want to make down in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube. But yeah, I think we're going to go with... I think Hannah's a pretty smart gal. I think she's going to make the right choice here. Relationship status updated. Let's take a look at this. So, Luke, look how far Luke has come down. Wow. And we don't even see this Rochelle here or whatever. She's just non-existent here. But basically half. I mean, it was already down to like here or something like that because they're fighting. But now it's really went down with the last event. Damn. Not good for their relationship. He's like, maybe Marianne had a point. If I am frustrated, if I am unhappy, maybe a break is needed. Some time apart might be just what the doctor ordered here. Time apart to clear out our heads and think for ourselves, or for myself to be exact. Because looking at this mess before me just brings me nothing but distress. I feel a bit nauseous. Actually, now that I think about it, Luke's too busy making a scene to notice, and a concerned Becky pulls me to the side. Uh-oh. He looks as disturbed as I am by this sudden turn of events. Probably not a big fan of drama. Definitely not used to it, at any rate. Not surprising, as our parents were lovely yet simple people.
Hey, I figured you could use the save. You looked like you weren't doing too hot back there.
Yeah.
Do we need to call a doctor or something?
Oh no,
Wow.
I'll just be needing some fresh air, that's all. Some help getting out of here would be much appreciated.
Sure, that won't be a problem. I wanted to get away from this drama too anyway.
Wow. Yep.
Just... Hey, Zachary! Hey, Zach!
And at the mention of his name, I can't help but seek him out in the crowd as he makes his way over. They know each other?
Becca, this is a real
This is a real mess, yeah.
Oh, hey, Miss Wright.
If I am to assign a random number to dictate the odds of having two of my acquaintances know each other, I'll say the odds are 1 in 1,000. And if this is any other situation, I would have been suspicious. It isn't completely impossible to have two random strangers who have met on separate occasions to know each other in what will be a complete random happenstance. It's just that it's been fake before, to try and dupe me because of who I am and who I am married to. But right now, coincidence or not, I am just grateful for the help. As long as this doesn't turn out to be a kidnapping anyway.
Hello, Zachary. I told you to call me Hannah. Did I not?
Yeah, you did. So, this is what you called me for. We gonna get Hannah out of here?
I can see that they are friends. Not terribly close ones, but they are friends nonetheless.
That'd be great.
They make quick work of getting us through the crowd. The people part because of Zachary's broad build, even though they want to approach me. If that isn't enough, Becky's pointed glares keep him at bay. Wow. So now it's in the evening of Friday night. We even make it out of the ballroom without any untoward incident. Though judging by the commotion in the other room, the same cannot be said about the unexpected eviction. I really do need some fresh air. I need to be away from those nosy Parkers. I need to be away from Luke. This is as good a start as any.
Hey, I gotta go back in there. completely forgot my bag like an airhead, and I'll see if I can tag Ash on the way out.
Okay.
You'll be fine here, right, Hannah?
Yeah, let's hope so.
Not to worry, dearie. I'll just be right here.
So
Zach will be with you if you need anything.
Yeah, I think she's fine with Zach there. Becky balks at the idea of going back into that ballroom. Anyone who hasn't yet would have realized I am gone by now. And those busybodies will be gossiping about how I left the building with 2 unknowns. Along with what just transpired, stories both inaccurate and made up will spread by the night's end. It all matters very little in the grand scheme of things, of course. I won't even bother to try and quell them by returning to the fray. And that leaves me with...
Zachary?
Yeah, you need something?
I was only going to say how nice it is to see you again.
Oh, okay.
I can see the tension in the line of his shoulders. Odd how awkward he is, when this isn't our first meeting. We had met on professional terms, certainly, but I'd like to think I was friendly. Yeah, I think you were over-friendly, Hannah. Nonetheless, I do not push the issue about the apparent discomfort when we were left alone. Not right away, at any rate. I know my curiosity will get the better of me soon. Before I can say anything, however, he speaks up.
You okay there, Hannah?
Yeah, I think he genuinely cares. I mean, he just witnessed what happened. And I think this is the good guy. I think he would genuinely care about her state of well-being and everything like that. You know, I don't think he's, like, madly in love with her or anything like that, or, you know, nothing like that, but I think he would definitely care. And he might also be a little more understanding of why she was so flirty with him. Now knowing the extent of how distant the marriage was with Hannah and Luke.
I mean, of course you're not okay after what happened in there. I mean, that was terrible.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna just fall down and faint or anything, right?
I'm fine. Thank you for your concern.
A beat.
I should be asking you the same thing. I remember you being a lot more eloquent.
He's probably a little shook up after seeing that.
Oh yeah, I'm just not too good with staying too long in a crowded room. Or handling intense drama, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, yeah.
Sorry about my clothes. Didn't think there'd be a dress code. Not that I have anything that nice to wear to a shindig like this. I dig nice, small, simple parties, so this is a real doozy for me.
And do you host your own nice, small, and simple parties often?
Only when there's occasion, birthdays and stuff. Those are a lot more fun for me, and I can be a lot more selective about letting only the people I'm cool with attend, right? I get to pick the food, too. Of course, I make most of them myself. There's usually a dozen people or less, and all we really do is just hang out. Maybe do some grilling, karaoke, dancing, you know, the usual.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. You sure you're all right? You aren't exactly being eloquent yourself, as you put it. You must have something you want to get off your chest.
I don't know, Zachary. What am I supposed to say?
You can scream married if you want. I won't snitch.
You want to know what I think? How I feel? I think my friend may have slept with my husband. At least, I'm pretty sure she isn't pregnant with his baby, which isn't much now, is it? My husband is a selfish, pretentious, bloody sack of shite, and
Yeah.
you know what? I don't give a flying fuck anymore! My God!
Well, that ain't good. Not giving a crap won't make the problem go away.
I'm going to ask him for a break, Zachary. I'm not going to pretend that there isn't a problem, but I just need to step back.
Fair enough. As long as you don't just up and disappear on him, I suppose.
Yes. Now can we please stop talking about him?
Can we please stop talking about him, she says.
me more about your small, simple parties.
I think she's more into Zachary here. But Zachary's a smart guy too. Like, the last thing Hannah needs to do, like, even if these two were to start developing feelings or whatever, the last thing in the world Hannah needs to do is go right from where she's at to, I think she's deflecting, yeah. But the last thing she needs to do is go right from where she's at in a, you know, marriage and what just happened and being cheated on and having her husband of 7 years have a baby, potentially have a baby with her friend. The last thing she needs to do is start, you know, developing feelings for this guy or any guy. You know, she's going to need to do some healing and everything else, or, you know, it's just not going to work either. She's not thinking straight, but it's understandable, you know, especially with Zachary being such a polite, caring gentleman and such a huge contrast to her, as she said, selfish, egotistical asshole of a husband or whatever. So she's wanting to know more about your small, simple parties.
Karaoke and dancing. How does that even go together?
Simple, really. We hope Ash doesn't take the mic, put on a bit of fun music, and just dance. Not that I can, but there ain't nothing complex about it.
You can't be that bad.
I'm pretty good with the twist. Or that's what they tell me, at least. I think they're just being nice. I'm sure it just looks awkward.
How should I respond? Addie, you're in my stream. I'm gonna let Addie make this choice here. Should I say prove it? Or at least you can cook? I think I would go with at least you can cook, because we saw what happened when I made her flirt too hard last time. A couple of days ago. You're gonna say at least you can cook? I think that's what Addie's saying. Yeah, we went too far with Zachary last time. I don't think we want to push him. He's already feeling kind of awkward as well. We saw the tension in his, yeah, at least you can cook, yeah. This is being a little bit too flirty, I think, for that situation. This might be more plausible, to be honest with her, in the situation, but we're not gonna push him.
At least you can cook, allegedly.
Take a look at our relationships here. Zachary is still way down. It might go up after our talk here, depending on how we play our cards here, but we went way down when we flirted with him too hard last time. And, yeah, Luke is just way down. Way, way, way down. At least you can cook, allegedly. She's basically saying you haven't proven it yet. I like that.
You still bring no proof.
Yep, there we go. I just said it. You still bring no proof.
This party ain't exactly a potluck, is it?
True, true. Perhaps you can invite me to one of your simple parties. I will bring the cake.
He wants to go to his party. He just said he likes doing his parties with people he's really cool with and people he can trust. And looking at this relationship status here, and I don't know if he's quite there right now. I'm just saying.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, I guess he is. We might see the relationship status go up here in a minute.
But with a cake that big, like at your housewarming party, we'll be eating frosting for weeks. Maybe make it a little simpler and it's a deal.
Simple would be nice.
Poor Hannah. Yep. Journal updated. We're going to catch up on this journal as well. The relationship has not went up yet. Alright. So, we're going to go ahead and catch up on the journal, guys. It's been a while since we've read some of this. So, we're going to go... Yeah, we have a new one here on the 28th. Hannah and Marianne were seen discussing the mansion's finishing touches before the housewarming party. On a whim, Hannah asked for Marianne's opinion about a certain couple having marital problems. Yeah, she tried to portray it like it was her friend that were having the marital problems. I think she was talking about whatever her name is, the girl that just came in mad, and Rochelle. So she was just talking about, she brought it up to Marianne. She brought it up to Marianne that, oh, I know a couple that's really good friends. She's talking about that Sergeant and Rochelle, who are having marital problems. But actually, she was talking about her and Luke. So, it leaves the former with something to talk about after the latter excused herself from attending the party. Yeah, I think Marianne was pretty smart to not attend the full party and see what just happened. Just saying. Maybe she felt it. The Wright Mansion officially opened its doors with a grand housewarming feast. Zachary Seal, Ashton Frey, and Rebecca Gels were all seen attending. However, what was supposed to be a day of merriment turned sour when Rochelle Lee, the chief inspector's wife, accused Luke Wright of fathering her unborn baby. In the aftermath of Rochelle's accusations, a devastated Hannah was seen exiting the ballroom with Rebecca Gels and Zachary Steele. Hannah was left in the care of the man when Rebecca had to go back to the party in search of Ashton. Now alone, the two had a talk, and both were smiling by the end of it. Uh-oh! Yep. Alright. I wish the same can be said about what I'm about to do. Simple isn't the adjective I will use to describe the task I have at hand. Because, really, how does one tell their husband what they want to separate? Yep. How do you tell your husband that you want to separate and say that, no, this is not a divorce? Not yet, anyway. Not yet. It's funny how I just keep predicting the words, and right after I say something, the story says the exact same thing. Yeah, I think after she has a little bit of time to think things through, she's going to be even more logical and, you know, determined to leave that bastard. She's going to realize how big of a dick he is, and she's going to think to herself, what the hell am I doing? Why am I with this guy? Yeah, I mean, he's already proven he's an ass in almost every situation. He has no respect for her, and now he goes out and cheats with her own friend. The possibility is there. But still, how am I even to explain that to Luke without him throwing a complete tantrum? Exactly. Not just a fit, he's probably going to throw a tantrum. Cutting too deeply into my sausages, I open my mouth to excuse myself. That is, until I spy Luke mashing and stirring his poached eggs with a fork, like a petulant child. He has been silent all the while, chin in his hand and elbow resting on the table. I worry that my absence after the debacle may have caused more harm than good.
Luke?
Here we go. How's he going to handle it? How is she going to say this? I don't think he's going to take it well. We already know he doesn't take anything well.
I think we need a bit of a break.
Oh boy.
You know, some time apart.
And at my words, he grows still and silent. I'm not quite sure whether I should be worried or not. I take it as my cue to keep talking.
It's not permanent or anything like that. Just for a while.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't really have anything to say. He knows that he just got this woman, her friend, knocked up. He knows that. But he doesn't look like he's growing angry yet, anyway.
In a few days, perhaps. I was thinking I can move back into our penthouse in the meantime, but I won't be moving out right away, so that I can help settle everything here. And I haven't even thought of packing yet. And I'll want to ask Johans to assign some of our staff. Unless you want the penthouse anyway. Then I'll stay here instead.
No, you take the penthouse. It'll be easier for you.
It isn't supposed to be this easy, is it? Can he really react so aloof to it?
Isn't this to your liking? I imagine that you'd like the space and independence.
And see, this is exactly what you learn when you go through, like, you know, you go through relationship courses and stuff like that, like I did. And when you go to break up with somebody, for whatever the reason, even though she's completely justified for breaking up, right? She's not breaking up with her husband because she's interested in Zachary. She's not breaking up with her husband because, you know, of her family pressuring her to break up with him or anything of the sort. He's breaking up with him because he's been a complete asshole as of late, and now I mean, that really broke the camel's back with him supposedly knocking up her best friend, Rochelle. So she has good justification and good reason to break up. But anytime you break up with somebody, you know, that you've been with for 7 years like they have, you expect them to either get on their knees and start crying and begging and pleading, or you expect them to be really angry and surprised and, you know, handle it like a child or whatever. You expect them not to handle it this cool. And when somebody does handle it this cool, then that actually makes you yourself start thinking like, what the fuck? Am I making a mistake? You know, how is he handling it this well? You know, so she's going to start doubting her own decision here, I bet. Just because of the way he's handling it here. Isn't this to your liking? I imagine that you would like space and independence now as well.
You'll have the bed and covers to yourself, and you can have whatever you want prepared for meals. You can even have all the wine you want, though I'd rather that you don't.
This isn't about that, Hana. Well, it's partly that, but...
The man stops playing with his food, choosing instead to push the plate aside.
What's wrong, Luke?
What's wrong, Luke? He slumps back in his chair and just stops short of putting his feet up on the table. Addie says this is not a breakup. They are taking time apart. This is what gets couples more in trouble. Time apart is not a green light to date. Yeah. I agree. I suspect he's wanting some time or absent by now, but any sort of alcohol is suspiciously absent in his hands.
Aside from that disaster yesterday and you telling me you want a divorce, everything is peachy keen.
Well, I think he's going too far there. She did not say she wants a divorce. She said she wants a break. But it's easy when this happens. It's easy when a relationship happens that you take it as its worst, or you assume that because she's saying she wants a break, that, you know, she wants a divorce. And it may end up being that, but yeah, you shouldn't take it for more than what she's saying at this point. He is starting to get a little more angry too, though. We notice that.
Will you want me to start on the letters then? To start the divorce settlements and whatnot? Will you be seeking ways to throw me out onto the street without a penny to my name?
Yep, he's getting angrier.
No, Luke, this isn't a divorce. I just told you this is only temporary.
We'll see about that. We got plenty of this gameplay to left. Plenty of the visual novels left. We'll find out before it's all over.
Are you really having a sulk because of what she said yesterday?
I am having a sulk because you believe her. You stormed out and now you're asking for us to split up? Soon enough, you'll want to throw me out like I'm a piece of trash.
This is more what I expected him to behave like. He should have kept his cool. He should have kept his cool, because right now he's only confirming to her that she's making the right decision. I think you guys might agree with me there. Right now, he is confirming to her that she's making the right decision to take a break or walk away.
Do you think I would be this calm if I believed her, Lucille Mitchell, right? Because believe me, if I did, well, it wouldn't be pretty. Besides, I know how you feel about children. It makes her whole statement laughable.
Just because he doesn't like children doesn't mean he wouldn't F her. Yeah.
Sure, whatever you say.
His mouth draws in to a thin line, and I can't bring myself to comment on his half-hearted reply. To me, the silence that follows feels oppressive. It only emphasizes the wall that has been built up by my what is that? What is that word? My obedience? And his hubris. But guys, I've got to look this up because I don't know what the hell she's talking about. It is a movement of the body made in token of respect or submission. After making obeisances, he approached the altar. Acknowledgement of another's superiority or importance. What it means. Okay. I haven't seen that word. And it looms between us, keeping us apart.
When are you leaving? In a week?
It won't take that long to pack. After All Saints, perhaps? I'll go and inform the staff of this.
He only nods. And I'll be lying if I said that he didn't disappoint me. Yeah. I expected more resistance. The man could be stubborn as a mule if he wants to be. Perhaps I can leave now, just to spite him. But that's not like me. Even if this does end in a divorce, a thing we both surely wish to avoid, we can at least... Sorry guys, we can at least leave on amicable terms. There's no point in making a mountain out of a molehill.
What are you still doing here? Just leave. You still have some packing to do, don't you? Go ahead. I won't stop you.
Well, so now it's Saturday morning. And the journal, let's go ahead and catch up here with the new. The Wright Mansion officially opened its doors with a grand housewarming feast. Oh, we already saw that. Yeah, the newborn baby. Yeah, we already saw that. Oh, we don't have... Oh, we do have something on the 29th, yep. During breakfast, Hannah asked Luke for a break. She'd be moving back to their penthouse for a couple of days. Despite trying to remain aloof, her husband accused her of wanting a divorce. Hannah insisted she simply needed a break from him. Look at that. I mean, that is sad. You see the rings. I like that. You see the rings breaking. His ring breaks here. Her ring breaks right there, right where they're joined. And that's why this is a little bit heartbreaking. You know, anybody that's been through any kind of a breakup in either a divorce or a relationship or anything like that, I think can feel a little sorrow for the couple here with everything they're going through. Not easy on either side, for sure. Go ahead. And do nothing. There isn't much to do, it seems, whenever I step up to the plate and try to take responsibility for something. Perhaps because everything is already being handled by someone hired specifically for that job. And with Johannes overseeing the staff and Luke handling everything else as a whole, that doesn't leave much left for me. I can't even take the job of delegation because all it takes is a word to one of these senior staff and everything will be taken care of for me. Moving in here a few days ago may have well been a chore that took the most effort from me. And that didn't take any real effort at all.
Yes, Hannah, go buy a mansion in the middle of nowhere. Good idea. Great plan.
Yeah, she's starting to regret buying the mansion, I think. There are no dishes to set aside and busy myself with. Any mess left behind is now nearly non-existent. To sit on a counter while eating cake is supposed to be my next plan. Alas, there isn't even one to finish off, and I don't really know what brought me to the kitchens in the first place. It's not like I'm craving anything else, nor do I have any unfinished business left in here. But there's a calling to this room. Speaking of calling, why not do just that? Might as well, since I have nothing else to do. At least that will require some effort on my part. With how cut off from the rest of the Luxborn the mansion is, and with how long it was abandoned before we moved in, having a landline is out of the question. The solution, supposed to be, are mobiles, though it isn't much considering how spotty the signal is in this area. It'll take a bit of maneuvering to even get a single bar as it is. Well, that's not good. You don't even get good mobile service at this mansion, huh? It takes a bit, as I said it would. I have to park my rear on one of the cold drawers, but that suits me just fine. Another matter that needs my effort is who to call. Oh, we're going to have a choice of who to call, aren't we? She who must not be named is certainly off the list. Yeah, Rochelle? That doesn't leave much in the category of close friends who attended the party, along with a category of who else is awake at this very early hour on Saturday morning. But soon enough, I manage and the call goes through. Well, at least it didn't give us a choice.
Rebecca Gales here.
It is Becky. Okay.
Who's this?
Good morning, Becky.
Hannah? Oh, wait, how did you get my number?
You responded to your RSVP through the phone. It's all saved in here, of course. I thought I'd like to say hi and make plans and get together sometime. Also, I'd love to hear news about your mother and father and about you, my dear.
Really? That's kind of fake, because let's be honest, what she really wants to do is talk. She wants somebody to talk to, right? She just wants somebody to talk to selfishly. I mean, just be real. Yeah, I mean, she's definitely not calling Becky to hear about Becky and your mother and father. Come on.
Oh, I hope I didn't wake you up.
Oh, you're good. It's sports day at school today, so I was just prepping for that.
Figures that you'd be a teacher as well. I'm sure your students must absolutely adore you.
Don't know about that.
Mathematics?
History, actually.
I like how the time is going as they're talking here.
Anyway, it's real nice to know you've got my number. I was going to ask for yours because Mom wanted to keep in touch.
You could have asked, silly girl. I would have gladly given it to you.
Couldn't, though, because, well, the thing that happened.
Yeah.
But really am sorry, though. I gotta run. School, schedule, stuff. Is there anything else you want to say? Don't want to use the mobile while driving.
Oh, of course, of course. I shouldn't keep you. But I wanted to thank you for your company yesterday.
Not a problem.
I was hoping you could thank Zachary on my behalf as well. He was really kind and wonderful.
Well, you can tell him that yourself if you want. I can give you his number.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, I don't want to be a bother. Intruding on his privacy.
Pretty sure he'd be fine with it. If you two on a first-name basis and all. So, his number, right, it's...
The call starts to go static, much to my frustration. A strange clicking noise drowns out most of her words as well. I can barely understand what she's saying. Oh, that's kind of spooky. Oh boy. And the line completely dies. I can feel a headache coming along. It's just building up, starting from a light throbbing on one side of my head. The static is gone, and that helps a lot. I think we hear a lot more than static in the background there, guys. A lot more than static is heard right now. That's creepy as hell. But there is still that incessant, horrible clicking. Again, and again, and again. Which doesn't make sense. The mobile's turned off, isn't it? And if it isn't coming from the phone, then where's it coming from? Oh, under the hatch. Looking about, I can't help but let my eyes be drawn to the hatch leading into the wine cellar once more. Yeah, she heard this one other time, but I think it was a woman crying that she heard, not moaning and cackling like that. Oh, there goes the woman crying. That's when the clicking stops and I can hear that crying, that familiar crying from before. What happened the other day when I was told that nobody should have been down there? Yeah, that was her butler, Johannes, that told her that nobody's down there and to go to bed. I tried to forget it because of how it unsettled me so. One can hardly do that when I'm looking at the very thing and I'm trying to forget it. Somebody is crying down there again. But if I leave it alone, it simply won't stop bothering me for the rest of the day. They might have forgotten to lock it with the party going on.
This again! If somebody is pulling my leg, I will not be happy!
Right? True enough, all it takes is a bit of a pull to open this hatch. As I look down to the cellar, a sense of uneasiness washes over me. Oh boy, what's gonna happen here? Wow. It isn't just a sudden onset of vertigo and nausea, but also it's just so dark. It's suffocating. And as I look down, it feels as if it's looking right back at me. I worry that something will suddenly pull me into the deep. The cries drown beneath the shrieks that start echoing in my head, high and shrill, like nails being dragged across a chalkboard. Oh, that would be irritating. They're all screaming. They're shouting at me. and I can just feel her rage. Help me! Help me! She wants to drown me, to drag me down and crush me in the very depths of darkness, until there is nothing left of me at all. The deep abyss, it waits for me. It waits for my death. They're all calling for it. This is a nightmare. Yikes, that is creepy. There's a rope around my neck and I can feel the rest of me being torn apart. And they're still just screaming. I'm screaming. Though it is not my voice that escapes my lips now. It claws through, climbing up and forcing its way up my throat like a putrid bile. I choke and gag, yet I scream and shriek all at the same time. And I'm me, but I'm not me. Wow. Now it's in the afternoon of Saturday. It pushes me down to my knees before I'm prone and vulnerable on my stomach, and the hatch is closed. It makes me tumble, and I can just feel my whole body seizing and writhing on the floor. Everything and nothing hurts. It feels like I'm on the verge of very death itself. And if I'm not dying, I nearly wish that I was. Now Luke is saying something, but we can barely hear him. Hannah, what's going on in there? So now Luke has heard her, or heard some turmoil going over, and he knows that she's down there. And he's like, what's going on in there? Oh, wow.
Why are you?
Whoa, he lifted up the hatch. We heard it lift.
Prince.
He called him Prince. Seeing Luke, something snaps back, and I'm able to take a gasp of air on my own volition for the first time in what felt like centuries. I would have rejoiced and cried for his name if the pain still did not rack my body. Achievement unlocked in safe hands. That's great art. Is that not great art, guys? Look at the light. And look at her crying and look at his embrace. That's beautiful art. This game has very well done art. Instead, all I can do is stare listlessly as he comes to my side and lifts me up, cradling me in his arms. He tries to get me to my feet, perhaps to take me out of here. But all he's able to do is get me to sit, make sure I'm not trashing to the floor. I think it means all he's able to do is get me to sit and not thrashing on the floor. I can still feel my muscles spasm, limbs jerking like a puppet's on a string. Luke holds me tight and keeps me still, so that I do not hurt myself anymore. Whoa, that's intense. Whatever it is that happened, it has my mind feeling frayed and battered. Eventually, the pain dies down into a dull ache, and my own tongue stops feeling like cotton. It's only now that I can feel the wetness on my cheeks, tears streaking down my face. A coughing racks my body now, and I don't feel like choking. And it just feels so horrible. But I don't care. I don't care.
Luke, please.
What happened here? Who did this to you?
I don't know.
Well.
I'm so sorry.
Shh, it's all right. You're safe now, Hannah. You're safe now.
Wow. Zachary. So now we're going to take Zachary's point of view for the first time. And it looks like Zachary might be dreaming. Okay. The pleasant aroma hits me long before I cross the threshold. Faint but light and warm, a reminder of what home is. So he's remembering good old home, probably from when he was a kid. Pa's stern but commending gaze, Ma's tender smiles, the sunlight filtering through the eaves in the morning. We can hear his mother humming. Pretty cool. And the distinct smell of cinnamon and vanilla as it drifts through the air every time something cooks from the room. Little mom cooking. Cinnamon and vanilla. The room. Our room. Ma and Pa's pride and joy. My sister and I too, eventually. But we ain't allowed there. Not yet. They're not allowed in the room? Not until we're taller or older. Not until we've learned how to take care of ourselves and not to burn our hands or reach the cupboards without having been lifted.
But a little peek wouldn't hurt, yeah?
So he's remembering being a little kid. It almost looks like he has a little kid's face there. Inquisitive and curious. A little peek wouldn't hurt. Trying to figure out what the hell smells so good, right? The floorboards are cold under my feet more than it usually is. The walls are more forbidding than what I'm used to. The further and further the room gets. Ma's singing ceases and Pa...
No, please wait!
Oh no. Oh no, he's remembering something, huh? He's remembering a horrific event. Oh no, poor kid.
I'll be good. I'll sleep on time.
I'll be good, I'll sleep on time? Oh no. Wow, I don't know.
Don't go!
Don't go. I can't hear Pa. Not above the raucous clanging and the deafening roar of gunshots, nor the screams replacing the comforting, soft melodies of Mother's hum. His Ma and Pa were shot? Oh my god, guys. Boy, Zachary's been through some hell too. This is only the blinding fear. When my foot slips, the red sea that catches me is bitter and frigid, but the blood that drips in my hand is warm. Warm. So warm. And it ain't my blood. Oh my god, this poor guy. The walls tumble and everything goes quiet. Oh wow. So now it's Tuesday, the 25th of October. We're actually before everything that happened on Friday. It takes a few moments for everything to fall into place, for my eyes to adjust to the relative darkness of the room. Yep, we're in Zachary's little apartment here, it looks like, and that looks really small. Holy cow. Her fridge up there, kitchen probably up there, a bedroom and a living area, and a small kitchen is all it looks like. Probably a restroom somewhere, maybe back behind us. Wow. Look like tight quarters there, Zachary. Despite the pleasant chill the AC brings, my shirt is clinging tightly to me, and my blanket a tangled mess around my throat. Yeah, he was definitely having a nightmare about his mother and father as a kid. Morning has not even arrived, and yet...
Way too early for this thing, man.
For this thing? And too long. Too long since the last I've woken up drenched in my own sweat. Head littered with thoughts that are gone as soon as my eyes open. Yeah. Poor Zachary, man. All too often, only imprints and brief images are left to haunt me for the rest of my day, or until my mind forgets about the nightmare. Again, whichever comes first. Yet, vivid or not, what little I can remember doesn't matter. Regardless, the desperation sticks, clawing up, pushing, urging me to relive every moment, every sensation, and... Oh, he went back to sleep. Or no, he's remembering his dream. There's a twinkle in Ma's eyes when she looks up from her work. Flour dusting her nose and cheeks. That's adorable. There's a scent of freshly baked bread that wafts from the oven as soon as Pa opens the oven, and the homely fragrance of honey that fills the room. And I gotta say, guys, yeah, there's nothing that smells better than homemade bread cooking in the oven. That aroma can fill an entire house, and man, it can make your mouth water. It smells so good. And I know, guys, because I created my own honey oat wheat bread recipe. I did it through trial and error. I was determined to create my own bread recipe through trial and error. You know, measuring out different amounts of like white flour, all-purpose flour rather, and different amounts of wheat flour, mixing in. I definitely wanted honey as by part of my recipe, and I just wanted to make honey oat wheat bread myself. I wanted my own recipe, and I did it back in like 2011, 2012, something like that. And through trial and error, I spent a whole weekend, a whole 2 days off, cooking it over and over and over again, just a little batch of dough, until I got it just right. Because I remember like the first time I tried making it, I don't know, I didn't have something in there right. I don't think I had enough yeast in there or enough, I think it was actually baking powder that I didn't have enough of. And it was hard as a rock. Like, it looked good, everything like that, but it was just way too hard. It was like super hard as a rock. And so I just kept altering the recipe and changing everything, changing the amount of honey and the amount of salt and everything until I got it just right. But that recipe can be found right here on my YouTube channel. Yep, nothing smells as good as fresh homemade bread, I'm telling you. Pa reaches up to wipe the small beads of sweat away from his forehead before gesturing for me to come closer the moment he spots me on my little hiding place behind the door. I expected him to be angry, but his pat on my back when I come within his arm's reach is encouraging enough. We'll have to taste these first before we put it up for sale tomorrow. You up for that, little man? Is that good enough? Well, that's funny. A knock cuts through the air before I can answer my paw. Sharp, heavy, demanding, familiar. So distantly familiar. Ma ushers me out of the kitchen when Pa moves to answer the door. But I know what waits outside. Yep, because he's been through it before. The taste of blood in my mouth sends an unpleasant churning in my gut. Ma's apron crinkles under my tight grip. Man, that's so sad, man. His freaking father got shot. I'm sure we're going to learn more about that as the story plays out, but we are learning more and more about these characters. Something snaps back into place. My bed remains in an utter disarray. The walls still need a new paint job, and the wall clock ticking opposite my bed is as unsettling as ever. Ash is right. Remember, Ash is his best friend, guys. I should have already replaced that when I had the chance.
You're no longer there, Zachary. Here and there are miles apart.
Yep, exactly. You're no longer back in your past as a child, watching your father get shot. Ooh, that's tough.
Calm down. Breathe.
I love how he even talks to himself in a soothing voice. The pressure of my own fingers against my temple is a welcome sensation over the anxiety of gripping me. It never really did anything to stave off the headache sure to follow after this before, but it grounds me. A little reminder that I am safe, away from the place I once called home, away from Ma and Pa's. The urgency with each rap that follows finally chases away the ghost threatening to hang around. Why anyone thinks it's a good idea to knock at someone else's door this late confuses me. Yeah, it looks like it's like midnight or something. Nana would chase them all the way with a broom if she were here. I bet you he misses his mom and pa, for sure. But no matter, it's a welcome break from the thoughts about to take a morbid turn if left festering. It's probably just Ash anyway, looking for a place to to crash. Looking for a place to crash, yeah. Yeah, he's not gonna say freeload. His friend. Wonder of wonders why he's bothering with a courtesy when he never did so before. Yeah, why is he knocking? Because he's never knocked before, huh? And even with that hunch, though, habit compels me to check who it is first before by peeping through the peephole. Better safe than sorry, they say. Except the person that greets me on the other side is not Ash. Unless his hair grew longer overnight, and he started wearing a ponytail, of course, which I highly doubt will happen anytime soon. So he just kind of saw through the people that, hey, this ain't Ash. And they have a ponytail, so it's a female, probably. No matter how funny that looks in my head. I waste no time in opening the latches.
Isabella.
It's Isabel. Late. Okay. It is late. Look at his face of horror, like... So Isabella, guys, if you guys weren't here from the start of this visual novel, Isabella was the real estate agent that we started with in the first part of the game, and the first, like, 3 episodes were all about her. And she was trying to sell that mansion to Hannah and her husband, Luke. And while she was going in there, trying to prepare everything and stuff like that, she was alone in the mansion. She was waiting on a real estate friend, Rose, to show up to help her out with it or whatever. And she was going through just, you know, checking out the rooms and everything like that. And that's when she found the letter. The letter, which was written in blood, or looked like it had been written in blood, with help me, help me, help me all over it. And then she saw a creepy looking, like that zombie woman, right? We saw in the last episode, she saw one of those coming her way, you know, slowly and growling and stuff like that. And she freaked the hell out, as I think anybody would. And she ended up trying to go down the stairs and tripped and fell and knocked herself unconscious. And then, you know, you just progress and we get to know her a little bit better. So she finally got the deal sold to Hannah. I think Hannah wanted that mansion even more than her husband, Luke. But she finally got Hannah was kind of really eager to get it. She wanted it. And so the sale was pretty easy, but it showed her kind of like talking with Rose, and Rose kind of being embarrassed by her acting all freakish and stuff like that because of the haunted mansion and what Isabella had seen. And eventually, like I think it was the 21st of October or something like that, sometime around the time we're at now, a few days ago, I think this is a few days later, or maybe a couple of days later, I'm not sure. Maybe it's that night. Anyway, Isabella lost Rose. She saw it on the news that Rose had been killed in her own apartment. Blood splattered all over the wall and everything like that. And, yeah, so Isabella's probably freaking out, and I'm sure that's why she came over to Zachary's. Because her and Zachary are really good friends. They've been friends a long time. So, Isabella, it's late. There's something I can't quite pinpoint in her eyes when she looks up. I wonder if Zachary even knew Rose. Like, maybe? Her face, a pallid shade. Her shoulders are tense. She's breathing heavy. And an uncontrollable shaking in her hands. She's just trying to hold back. Hide, if I didn't know any better.
Hey, Zach. Sorry,
Aw, bless her heart. Poor Bella.
I know it's weird for me to show up at this hour, but you were the closest to my office, and...
No, it's perfectly fine. I'm not really working on anything right now.
Yeah, he just woke up from a nightmare himself.
Do you want to come in?
Is it all right? I know you should be sleeping at this hour, but I thought... I'm sorry, I just thought...
I have no idea why I went here. My feet just moved on their own after I got out of the office, and... Sorry.
And she trails off, her voice lost in the muggy night air. I wait for her to say more, but instead her only response is a downward shift of her gaze. Back to her still trembling hands, as if the motion alone is enough of an explanation. A minuscule gesture. Easy to miss if one is not paying attention. Not Zachary. Zachary pays attention. He cares. Especially about his friends. But for someone who has seen the same expression in the mirror, done the same thing too many times when night terrors are inevitable, it's not.
Hey, don't worry about it. At least you not.
Yeah.
Ash just barges in and crashes on the couch whenever he feels like it. I swear that guy is one fine hairline away from being a criminal.
That's funny.
Besides, you already know you can count on me whenever.
Without waiting for her answer, I step away from the door and saunter over the kitchenette. For a few good seconds, only the clinking of the plates can be heard above the constant tick-tock. Late as it may be for a snack, the familiar motions keep me occupied, steering my mind away from dangerous, very dangerous thoughts. Isabella's company is not unwelcome either. Whatever her reasons are for showing up here, At such an hour, it doesn't matter. I'll be damned if I just turn her away, even as frazzled as she is. The door clicks shut behind her when she finally enters, feet scuffling softly against the tiled floor. In all the years I've known her, she has never once lost her ever upbeat spirit. Yet in this particular moment, as she stands in my doorway holding her arms close to herself, it's as if I'm looking at someone completely withdrawn from the person that I've come to know all these years. Yeah, she's probably pretty frazzled, as he said. That's a good word for her.
Do you want to drink or eat anything?
I mean, look at her.
I haven't restocked my food stash yet, so ingredients may be a bit limited. But I'm sure I can whip something up with what I have here.
Just water will do, please.
Aw, just water.
Thanks, Zach.
What? No additional food requests? That's new. I'll put something together for you anyway. Feel free to make yourself at home. You ain't exactly a new visitor here. Although my room's not at its most presentable right now. Sorry. New freelance gigs and such. Didn't have time to fix things up here lately.
It's okay. I don't mind.
Usually, she'd have something more to say about that. A quip, a witty remark to provoke a laugh or two. But nothing from her at this time. Only a weak smile before she takes a seat on the couch, and a silence that stretches out until what we have left hanging feels disconcerting. Before everything turns stifling and awkward, I continue to talk, if only to keep the dead air at bay. How's one supposed to keep a conversation going when the person you're talking to is like this?
Anyway, gigs. Can you believe this one client we got? Boss had all my scheduled shoots shifted after they caught wind of this couple buying a new property. Man, must be nice to have all the money in the world.
He's just talking to talk to keep it from being awkward.
World itself moves for you, huh?
How can you not just love Zach? I mean, he's such a good guy. She's curled up on one side of the couch and hugging her knees close when I bring the tray carrying the sandwiches and the water that she requested. She starts to straighten up as I'm unloading the contents, but she pauses as soon as I hold up my hand in a halting gesture.
You're a guest. Didn't I say you're free to make yourself at home?
He's like, stay comfortable. Come on, Isabel.
Here's your water. Careful.
The tremor in her hands, though lighter now, still hasn't subsided when she reaches out for the glass. Uh-oh. I give her a questioning look, but she is quick to avert her eyes, keeping herself occupied by taking small gulps of her water. Or maybe she just doesn't want me asking her questions. Worrying. This sudden loss for words, this bout of quiet is not normally present in our chats. Even the creaking of the old chair when I casually take a seat myself is a welcome break. Although the company is familiar, this has gone way past unnerving.
What happened? Overtime at work?
She doesn't answer immediately. Another gulp drains her glass of its remaining contents, so she drinks her water, so that's good. One would think it would be enough to help her recover, yet she doesn't lose her taut grip on the glass as she cradles it on her lap. Her eyes take an unfocused gaze when she speaks again. She's going to end up telling him about, you know, what happened to Rose and how blood was everywhere, and yeah, that's going to stress Zachary, her good friend, out even more. Well, let's hope she tells him. Let's hope she doesn't hold it in, right?
Yeah.
Might be harder to speak about it than we think.
Boss handed me extra work today. After what happened.
After what happened, so he's gonna be like, what happened?
To Rose.
To Rose.
Rose? Why do I feel like you've mentioned her before? Sorry, I'm better with remembering faces than names.
She was my coworker.
She was my coworker. And Zachary feels bad for not knowing who she is.
That will take some getting used to. I was just talking to her the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Was?
Yeah, he says was. He says was. Coworker.
Did she resign or something? I think I'm missing a few details here, Bella.
Yeah, you definitely are, man.
You've never met her. I think I did mention her once or twice. It doesn't matter. You probably heard her name recently from the news than me.
Oh boy. Something clicks then. A little memory from the night before Yep. So, yeah, this is just that same night that she died. It makes sense. We went back in time a little bit. The bright red light from the dark room, the strong odor of the stopped bath, the television's barely audible murmur in the background, and a glimpse I got of a bloody room. The news is everywhere, even in the morning that follows. I just didn't think its effects would strike someone this close to me. Oh boy.
Oh, damn.
Right?
I didn't mean to bring that up.
Well, Zachary feels bad for what happened. Zachary's such a good guy, he feels guilty for this. Like, how can you feel guilty for somebody else dying? You didn't even know her, bruh.
No, like I said, it'll take some getting used to, but it'll get better. I hope it will.
Yeah, bless her heart.
Things might become a little busier for me, though.
She's gonna try to bury herself in work. Well, she's also gonna have to start doing all Rose's work, because, I mean, she was a partner there at the real estate agency.
She left a lot of things unfinished.
Oh.
And I'm one of the few people in the office who knows how she works.
Yep.
Boss thinks the transition will be easier if I handle it.
Right. Makes sense.
That explains it. Well, just don't forget you still need rest.
Yep, that's a good friend. I mean, Zachary is a very good friend. Reminding her, hey, you still need to rest, Isabel.
Even the most hard-working people I know don't keep hours as late as this.
Right?
Hell, the subway stopped running hours ago. Crime rate might be lower here than most places, but that doesn't mean you can walk around freely in the middle of the night.
And now he's worried about her walking around over to his place, you know, this late at night. He definitely cares. A very caring friend. The exact kind of friend anybody would want, right?
It's just for today.
Still a good thing you dropped by here first. I'm not just about to let you walk out here alone, especially not in the middle of the night.
Yeah, another example of why he's such a good guy and a good friend.
Who knows what else could happen? I'm not saying you should go right now, but I could accompany you home if you...
No! Wait!
Oh,
please.
wow. He's freaked out. She does not want to go home. Bless her heart. The vehement tension in her voice makes me pause. And it is, in this instant, the mask she's been keeping up just falls apart, if only for a short while. Right then and there, I understood what's hiding behind her unfocused stare from the moment she arrived. Fear. Pure, unadulterated fear. Yep, he's right. It's disturbing to see such marring her usual upbeat countenance. But with a sigh, I cross the small distance separating us and I kneel down in front of her. She doesn't flinch when I do so. However, the way she appears to make herself smaller against the couch is telling enough.
Bella, this ain't just about your coworker, is it? What is it really about? I'm all ears.
Yeah. And the sound of glass shattering rents through the air as soon as her hold on it loosens. So she relaxed a little bit with him there, and she drops the empty wine glass or water glass or whatever. In the span of a few seconds, her breathing grows labored.
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Yeah. He is scared. He got it right. She claps her hands together over her ears, pressing it tightly against the sides of her head. Her voice grows weaker with each word, each plea coming out of her mouth.
Please, please don't leave me alone. I don't want to be alone right now.
Aww.
I can't shake it off.
There's no way in hell Zachary's... Yeah, there's no way in hell Zach's gonna leave you alone. No way, Bella.
Everywhere's not safe and...
Alright, Isabella. Look at me. Look at me.
My hands are firm on her shoulder when I pull her up to look at me. It takes every force of will to ignore the terror in her eyes in favor of taking control of the situation. Too close. Too similar.
Breathe. Breathe. You're safe here. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Stay in the present. I'm here. No one's gonna hurt you. Do you want to talk about it?
The force with which she shakes her head is enough reason to drop the topic altogether.
No more. Please. No more. I don't want to remember anymore.
Yeah, bless her heart.
Kate, no more talking. I won't ask anymore. Can I get you anything? Another glass of water? I think I have a tub of that pistachio ice cream you love so much.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to clean this mess first. Will you be fine on your own for a little while?
She nods lightly before retreating into herself again. No more words are exchanged after that, and I take care as my cue to start cleaning the shards littering the floor before either one of us gets hurt. The quiet hum of the AC is a pleasant distraction as I go over the menial task. More so than her ragged draws a breath on my little feeble attempts to tell a quick story or two. But the latter does the trick, and soon enough, she has already drifted off by the time I return with a promised glass of water, her chest rising and falling in a steady rhythm. The strain on her shoulders is gone now. Frankly, I've never seen her this still. She mumbles something I don't quite catch when I carry her to the empty bed and hugs herself tighter against the mess of blankets. What a great friend. Like, not only is he being so, after his own nightmare or whatever, late at night or whatever, his friend comes over upset about what happened. He does nothing but show support, care, and empathy for her. He falls asleep on the couch. He cleans up the broken glass mess, doesn't raise his voice or get upset or anything, and cleans it up without a word. And then she falls asleep. He actually talks to make her go to sleep, and then he picks her up and carries her to his bed, and he's going to give her his bed. He'll probably sleep on the couch. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, anybody that's listening to me read this knows what a great guy, that he is. And it makes sense that Hannah, in that ragged marriage she was in, would be flirting with the guy. I mean, this guy would give off such a bright aura, just by his behavior and the way he presents himself and everything like that. Even though he's going through hell himself and going through nightmares or whatever, he's just still such an amazing gentleman. And, makes any guy that thinks about how good this guy is, makes any guy that wants to strive to do better and be better, and be more like Zach in this visual novel. Like, that's how a gentleman should act. In spite of the fact that she appears relaxed, the small frown on her face hasn't quite disappeared. Whatever happened to her won't be leaving her anytime soon. Yeah, I think he's right about that. But now, for her sake, I hope it won't stay long with her. Because no matter what promises I've made, this is a kind of fear no person should shield her from, or could shield her from. Yep, you're not going to be able to protect her. I should know. There are still questions left to be answered. But the late hour, coupled with a sudden exhaustion, made my old couch a lot more comfortable bed than it typically is. And so now we are on October 25th, the next morning or whatever, or a little bit later, maybe. Yeah, darkness immediately welcomes as soon as my head hits my makeshift pillow. So it looks like he's waking up in the middle of the night, guys, but we're over an hour and 20 minutes into this, this part 7 right now, as it is. And we're going to go ahead and save this now. And we will be back here real soon with Livestream Under the Moonshine number 300. Maybe we'll make that one a little bit longer than even tonight's. Maybe we'll be closer to hour and 45 minutes, maybe over 2 hours. We'll see how it goes. See, we always got to find a good stopping point and stuff like that. But the next one will be Livestream Under the Moonshine number 300, which will be part 8 of the letter. I look really forward to it, guys. I think this visual novel is fantastic so far. And so far, it might be one of the best visual novels I've ever read. And I've been lucky enough to have found some great visual novels. So I'm really enjoying this one, and hopefully it continues to get deeper and better, as it has been doing so far. One thing that we're seeing is, these characters are continue to develop, and we're learning more and more about them. The writing is great, and I think the more we learn about all these different characters that are in this visual novel, the better it gets. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it too. Be sure to comment down below, guys. Let me know what you guys think of the letter so far, especially if you listen to all these parts. I would love to know. This has been Zach79, guys, and we'll see you in the next video and the next live stream Under the Moonshine. A big one coming up next. Hopefully the writing is good for number 300. We shall see. Have a good night or day, everybody. Whatever it is, whatever time it is when you're listening to this. Have a good one out there. Take care.